This is a quick video showing briefly how to set up the masks in TLex. Masks are basically part of the multiple dictionaries from one database functionality, and effectively what they allow you to do is if you have a dictionary database and you want to publish or extract the subset of that data, in which you select individual instances of particular fields to include or exclude. Note if you want to hide entirely all of a particular field, then you don't use masks. You use a different thing. There is a way to do that, but not using masks. Masks is for hiding, or specifically saying, okay, we do want this entry, but we don't want that entry, or we do want this example, but we don't want that example in the particular edition. Okay, that's when we use masks. If you just want to hide all the examples, then you just use the visibility flag in the style system for that. Generally, this visibility flag usually, but that's not masks. This right. If we open TLex and we go to samples, we're just going to have a quick look here. Open multiple edition sample using masks. So this shows an example of a simple example where masks have been set up. We have a single dictionary database. There are two editions, two style sets, two sets of styles, two editions. Our pocket view and our full edition, and if we select how to view the pocket edition, then certain entries are hidden entirely. University excluded by style set mask. So when we publish the pocket edition, which is extracted from the full edition, the entry university will be excluded. So the database is the same regardless whether we're publishing the full or the pocket from it. The actual data that we edit here in the tree view and under F1 is exactly the same. You see the full thing always in the tree view and under F1, but in the preview, depending on the edition you've selected, you see the subset of data that you're publishing based on the selected edition or style set. Okay, so if we look here, we have the entry draw. You see all the sensors, 3 sensors in the tree view. This one is bold, indicating it's been excluding pocket. And in the pocket edition, in the preview area, we see the bold is the sense to create a picture or diagram has been hidden in the pocket edition. And note that TLex recalculates the sense number. So it was sense 3 to proceed or move steadily. In the full edition, is sense 3. And pocket edition, it becomes sense 2 because the actual sense 2 is excluded or hidden in the pocket edition. So for this we use masks. And I'm going to briefly show how to set it up. There's a few things we need. We need to create, we don't need to, but usually, most of the time, we will create a style set for each edition that we want. And then on the field in which we're going to, that we want to be able to select whether to include or exclude an individual. So it's either on the entry or the particular field, like sense. Note, it can't be on an attribute, it must be on an element. So we can choose examples or senses that we want to hide. And we do that by adding a special attribute in the DTD editor, a F2 list attribute. And then the final thing we do is we set up a mask in the style system, which is a special thing that just tells TLex that this is a special attribute or special field, telling it to hide information based on the user selection. Under attributes F2. So basically, to actually select things to hide here, so if I wanted to hide sense 1 in the pocket edition, I click on sense1, and I have here under F2, attributes F2, sense1 exclude, and I can say hide it in the Pocket Edition. And watch what happens in the preview when I click that. I'm saying hide this sense1 in the Pocket Edition, and it hides now both sense1 and sense2, and only sense3 is still visible there. And the number disappears entirely because there is only one sense. Okay. Alternatively, we may, if we want, hide things in the full edition. So we then have the opposite. If we select the full edition, for example, sense1 is hidden. So yeah, this is quite powerful. You can do a lot of things with it. But that's the basic idea. Alright. So now I want to just take you through the steps of setting that up. So the first thing we need to do, okay, we decide what do we want to hide. Could be the entry, or say we want to hide examples in this case, individual examples in a Pocket Edition. It could also be, you may also extract, say, may also want to extract. You may also have a full database from which you extract either a monolingual dictionary or a bilingual dictionary. And in the monolingual, you hide the bilingual data or something. Or you may have multiple, you may have a single core, English translated into 10 different languages. So under the sense, you may have, under each sense, you may have Chinese, Malay, whatever, a whole lot of different translations, and you could have 10 different editions to extract different bilinguals, like English Chinese or English French or Okay, so now we're going to do this. We go to dictionary. This is advanced, by the way, so before you start messing around, very important, say file, create a backup. Okay, that just firstly creates a backup just in case we mess things up. And then secondly, until you know what you're doing, work on a copy of your data, not on the master database. When you're playing around to learn how to do this, the first time you try this, do it on a copy of your database, not on your actual database. In case you do something wrong, that you can go back to the backup, or that you just haven't destroyed the original. Right, so we're going to go dictionary, customize dptd, and on our example, we're going to create a new attribute. Important. Okay, so I'm going to select example in the left, and then click add attribute. And important, we're not selecting what to include, we're selecting what to exclude, we're selecting what to hide. So we can either call it hide, or we can call it exclude, or hide in, or hide in, I don't know what's better. Hide in. Okay. A little bit more Englishy than exclude. Doesn't really matter. So we create an attribute called hide in, and now we're gonna convert that attribute to a multiple, a select from list multiple type, so that it appears under F2 with checkboxes. Doesn't matter if we select the sorted one or the non-sorted one. Makes no difference. And then we say create new list. The first time we do this. Later on we can reuse the same list. And then we're gonna go to, so it's created now hide in attribute, select from list multiple type. Click here on the tab at the top of the DTD edit dialog, attribute lists. And in the list of lists here, go down and find your hide in list and select it. Now find list items for hide in. We're going to say add new list item. So now we're going to create two different editions, a full edition and a Pocket Edition again. So we're going to do two add new list items for our full edition and our Pocket Edition. So basically we're setting up like the sample now, like the full edition sample. We're setting up a mask on the usage examples element with two editions. Alright, so that's we've created our F2 list. First, now important, now we have created this is just the first step. And we've created an F2 list. It doesn't do anything yet, it's just a normal attribute right now. So if we go to hide in Pocket, all we're going to see is the word Pocket appear. okay, in the output, just because it's still just a normal attribute. So don't be alarmed. We go back to the D2D editor. So the next step we're going to do is we just want to hide that. Okay. Okay, example. We want to go to the, so we select example and we select output, display order, and visibility. So we can either, we either go under dictionary, customize D2D, or format styles. And then we just go here to the visibility, output order and visibility. Select example at the left. Select the hide in attribute, and you see that little Y means it's visible. Tick untick visible here to hide it. And you'll see it now disappears in the preview area here. Watch over there. There's a tick and untick this. That just tells it to hide the attribute. Right, now we have our next thing I want to do is set up the second set of styles, full and a pocket. So we just have one set of styles by default called the default styles. So we can under style sets here or here, it doesn't matter. We have style sets. We click this button, edit sets of styles. Let's rename the default styles. So we have this little list of styles, edit sets of styles. Select default style and say rename full edition. And then we're going to clone that. Our clone is going to be called pocket. Okay. So important to make sure that example hide in attribute is hidden in both the full and the pocket. If you first created the second set of styles and then you did the hiding, then you'll have to hide twice. Once for the full, once for the pocket. Alright, so now we have two sets of styles, a full and a pocket, that we can toggle between. And we have our special attribute, one example, but we haven't added the mask yet, so it's still going to be doing nothing. Okay, because it's not yet a mask. So the final step we need to do is to turn that into an actual mask, special mask attribute, tlTlex. Okay, that field is to be treated for masking data. So yeah, these two sets of styles, we created two sets of styles now. You have this, and that causes this selection, this option to appear in the top right corner of the preview. And that allows us basically to set up completely independent set of styles, like everything about the output can be customized differently for each edition. So if we go back to the sample and we switch between full and pocket, we see we have the same look, the same data in the preview, but depending on whether we're generating or outputting or extracting the full edition or the pocket edition, we have totally different colors and different fonts and font sizes, different numbering style. Some fields are hidden. Okay, so yeah, that's the point of the two style sets. Okay, now we're going to set up the mask. Alright, and if we go, I just want to double check how this is done. If we go check in the sample, we go back to dictionary, customize D2D, and all format styles. And the very last tab there is masks on the top right, click masks. And basically, here we add the mask for each style set. In the full style set, we add our exclude or hide mask for the full. So we want to say things, basically this says things that are ticked as being hidden in the full style set, things that are ticked full, exclude full on the full exclude attribute or hide in attribute should be hidden. And in the pocket style set, things that are ticked pocket on the exclude attribute should be hidden. So we're now going to do the same thing. We go back to this data and masks. Okay, and we select the full style set. So add our mask. Here it asks to select the list. Okay. Important, we go to select our little hide in list. Boom. For the full edition, we need to do this twice, once for each edition. We say full. So again, we just tick full. For the pocket edition, select pocket, go style set, click add, hide in, select a list, hide in, OK, pocket, tick pocket, yeah. So under full, we have full ticked, under pocket, we have pocket ticked. Basically, again, that says in the full style set, if the hide in attribute is full ticked, then hide the element, like I had the example. And in the pocket style set, if the hide in attribute is pocket ticked, then hide it. That's the actual mask. So now if we go over here, see it's already hidden here. So we have, so it's not hidden. Yeah. Okay, the styles are slightly off. Yeah, that's just a smart style issue. But yeah, the basic idea is we can now select individual examples, and we go to attributes to, we can select to hide individual examples in our pocket edition. So this we've selected the pocket edition. We're viewing the pocket edition in the preview. If you view the full edition, we're going to see both, because that's the full edition. I haven't hidden it in the full edition. If you view the pocket edition, you'll see the one that's hidden here, the one that I tied in there, which again is now bold in the preview, is hidden in the preview area for the pocket edition. And that will be applied as well when you say, using the current selected edition, when you like if you publish or export, if you export to HTML, to Word, those masks will be applied based on the currently selected style set. Yeah, that's it basically, and that's a very powerful feature that lets you, compile one database from which you can publish or extract different types of subsets of the information. And yeah, to basically select specific entries to hide, we follow the same steps on say the entry. Okay, the one thing we'll do slightly differently. It's the same steps. So let's do that. We go dictionary customize DTD. I'm going to select to hide entries now. So on the entry, we create our hide in attribute, same as I did now. We go to output order and visibility, and now remember we've got to do this twice. Output order and visibility, select the full style set, select the hide in attribute and hide it, select the pocket style set, hide in attribute, hide it. That's so that it doesn't show the word pocket or full in the preview when we tick that. Okay, it's a hidden field, a special hidden field. Yeah, and basically the one thing we do slightly differently when we convert this, we select our data type, select from this multiple. Yeah, the first time we did this, we had to create a new list because there was no hide in list. But for the second element onwards that we do this, there's now a hide in element already. So probably we just want to reuse the same one. Instead of creating a new list, we just say select the existing hide in list. And because that hide in list is already, we don't need to do the final step. That list is already attached to a mask in the TLex mask system. So it is now, that's all I needed to do, and we now have, if we select an entry, we have an entry hide in under F2, where we can hide entire entries in the pocket. So now hidden management in the pocket, the entire entry, and the preview shows like this: management excluded by style set mask. So if we go to the full edition, the whole entry appears. Go view the pocket edition. So again, the tree view looks exactly the same, except the bold. And if you export to Word, this won't even be there at all. Okay. Right. Okay, let's just save that. Just one or two tips when you're working like this. In the preview area, you can select, and this is very useful, to see both sets of styles, all the sets of styles at once. Under the Format menu, preview all sets of styles. And if that option is on, then the current entry that you're working on is visible in the preview area in both target and full. Just the current entry, the following entries, only in the current selected. But the selected entry, it shows both at the same time. So you can see if I make changes here, like if I edit the definition, I edit it only once in the tree view and attributes area, and the preview area updates for both editions. Okay. And likewise, if we hide specific things, yeah, we're seeing both editions. We can also switch between, toggle the current style set with Control P. Changes which one we're looking at. And yeah, there's also, which is also useful, finally, preview area mode, in which each style set is displayed in a different column. Okay, and that can also be nice. You see the bucket and the full on the right. So you see the two side by side. That can sometimes be useful to get that in multi-columns view. You can just click again here to get out of multi-columns view. Yeah, that's basically it. And if we only want to see, we can also just format preview all sets of styles. We can turn that off again. Alright, that's it.